Holy SHT, Mr. Lou is so arrogant and reckless. $1 billion. $1 billion yuan investment. He said he'd kick, and so he just kicks. The world of the wealthy. I just don't get it. Tian Hao didn't reply to Zhao Meng's messages. Her friend complained on her own. Seeing as she sent so many messages with no reply, she stopped sending any more. Tian Hao gripped her phone where she stood on the balcony for quite a long time. Then she lifted her finger, opened WeChat, and listened to each and every one of Zhao Meng's messages again. In the afternoon, she wasn't sure that Lu Jinian had done all of that for her, but now, she was pretty sure of it. From Zhao Meng's messages, she could hear that Lu Jinian fought Producer Sun when he saved her last night. She couldn't imagine what it would possibly look like for such a heartlessly cold man to physically fight someone. Her racing heart hastened without reason. Lin Shi's scandals were everywhere, and Producer Sun was kicked out of Alluring Times' production crew. It was just like what Zhao Meng said, $1 billion yuan investment. He said he'd kick, and so he just kicks. That's definitely daring, and so arrogant. Tian Hao couldn't help but tightly grip her phone. Actually, it wasn't like Lu Jinian had never helped her in the past. When Lin Shi made things difficult at Alluring Times' first dinner party, his one word helped her get out of it. When Lin Shi took photos of her in his room and exposed them on Weibo, he was the one who asked Song Xiangxai for help. When she fell down from the faulty swing, he was the one who selflessly leaped in to catch her. After all the times he had helped her, she had never felt as shaken up and moved from the bottom of her heart as this one. In those instances he would have helped everyone the same, but this time, she could say for sure that Lu Jinian was protecting her. This confirmation made Tian Hao's heart grow instantly wild. She had never thought that she would ever be protected by such an unbelievably cold man. Though she didn't know why he protected her, deep down inside, she was moved, happy, and satisfied. Tian Hao, who had hesitated just a moment ago whether to call or send him a text message, suddenly, really wanted to see Lu Jinian. She tightly grasped the phone, a little nervous. Then she took a deep breath, looked for Lu Jinian's number, and made the call. Darkness shrouded Winning Entertainment Tower. Each and every member of the board of directors wore scowling expressions on their faces as they left the meeting room with cold looks. Song Xiangxai only came out from her own office when everyone had left. She stood in the empty hall for a while, then went to the break room and made a cup of coffee. Carrying her coffee, she walked over to Lu Jinian's office. Song Xiangxai knocked on the door. She didn't hear a peep from inside, and so after a minute, she pushed the door open and walked right in. Lu Jinian stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. He stared at the city lights outside, about to light up a cigarette. In that moment, he had shed the intense and rude aura he'd possessed in the meeting room. All that was left was his usual aura of cold and pride. He clearly knew that someone had entered the office, but didn't react in the slightest. Song Xiangxai put her coffee to one side of the table. With her high heels, she walked over to Lu Jinian's side. She traced his eyes towards the night sky in front of them for a while before saying, "That $1 billion yuan investment. You thought of a plan on how to get it yet?"